Hi guys, I'm Kiarie. I'm a sleep trainer and a mom and a wife to this handsome guy.
Hi, my name is Kiarie. I'm a businessman, husband and father, and bestie of this chick here.
So, the first time I met this guy was in 2004. So, we have been best friends ever since. That is 14 years. We've been together for 12 years and married for 7 years.
We met in high school. We first met on orientation, Form 5 at St. Mary's. And weirdly, I saw her and approached her and told her to marry her. Over to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very strange. I looked at him and I thought, my goodness, do people actually say things like that? Do people actually go up to people and be like, oh, I'm going to marry you when they first meet them? I thought that was very, very strange. And I didn't consider him for a long time after that. But then he kept coming to me and saying, hey Kitt, persistence, let's be friends. And I'm like, my goodness, this Martin guy, first of all, you know those guys in high school, you're like, this guy is just trouble. This guy is going to be trouble in my life. That was Martin. He was just so popular. He always had people around him. He was funny. I mean, even now, he's very, very funny. He makes me laugh, that ugly laughing for throwing up. But at that time, that is not what I was looking for.
The goal in life is to tire them down. Wakatie mpaka waamue. But then, you know, in essence, you know, when I saw her, I don't know, I'd only call it divine intervention. Yeah. Because I knew I loved her from the day I met her. You know, we became best friends for 2 years. Then, you know, as fate would have it, we started dating around 2006.
Yeah.
And the thing I'd say is, you know, we just keep making it work. Every single day tunamka na tunachaguana.
Yeah.
You know, we choose each other every day. So there's no cliche, what is this relationship supposed to be? How is she supposed to be as a woman? How am I supposed to be as a man? We love each other and really we choose each other the way we are every single day.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when he finally decided, he asked me, hey, please now, I mean, we've been friends for so long, now just be my girlfriend. It was kind of like, hey, okay, let me give it a chance. So we started dating in 2006. He asked me after high school. We had finished high school, graduated. We were working at some organization, Kwanza, just along this road back here. And he was like, Kitt, I mean, you've been my friend for so long. Please, now, can you just be my girlfriend? And I thought to myself, okay, this guy has been asking for long. Let me give him a chance. And I already know him as a friend, so he likes me as a friend and I like him as a friend. So I know he's not out to get me, he's not out to hurt me. So let me give him a chance. My mom always used to say, you need to be with somebody who loves you. When you're with somebody you love, even if they don't love you, babe, there's nothing you can do to make them love you, nothing. You can dress good, you can be okay in the bedrooms, cooking, washing clothes, these things women are told to do, and he still won't love you. But if somebody loves you, you give them a chance because they'll treat you right, they'll protect you, everything. So I just decided, okay, let me give him a chance. Best decision in my life, best.
From the day I saw, she wasn't even my type. You know, me, I liked light skin. You know.
What is this? What is this?
Palmed hair. We are Madredi. She wasn't my type, but there's something about her confidence, you know, her self-awareness that drew me to her. And so immediately, and she was, first day of orientation, I was drawn by how she was sure of herself, talking to people, introducing herself to people, and that's why I approached her and made a proposition. So I had always loved her since then, and because we had become best friends, I loved our relationship, you know, from there were times I really needed support, and she'd always be there for me. She was very honest. She wouldn't tell me what I want to hear. She'd tell me, what I need to hear. So she was a very good friend, and I felt that's what I needed for the rest of my life. So we started dating in 2006, and then we got married in 2011. Of those 5 years, 3 years I was abroad. I went to university in the UK, and I can honestly say that is when we knew we were going to be together for a long time, because
this is right.
Long distance, mchezo. If you're not going to marry the woman, there's no point of doing long distance.
Listen, long distance, I don't recommend it for anybody. I don't recommend long distance. If you're not going to get married in the end, don't bother. If you're just kicking it with the guy, you're just seeing if it's going to work out, doing long distance, see your worth.
Yeah, so that was our toughest but best time.
Yeah.
Because we got to know how to be honest with each other. There were times there were some girls making me feel something.
Yeah.
I'd call her and tell her.
Yeah.
There were times she was feeling the same. She'd call me and tell me. So we learned how to communicate very well with each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the key highlight of our 5 years.
Yeah.
Of dating.
Yeah. When you're not with each other every single day, you learn to use other things other than physical relating. You're not together in the same space. You learn to use communication, talking to each other, sending each other sweet messages in the middle of the day, just to connect. And that really proves really good in the end. Yeah. He kept coming back during those 3 years. So he'd go for 10 months, come back. He'd go for a year, come back. He kept coming back. Like, he'd go and start working immediately for a ticket so that he can come back and visit me. And that really, really helped. But then every time he left, I would be like, okay, he's not coming back. And that's how I would cope. I wasn't going to hold on to him. I mean, when you go abroad, there's so many opportunities. I wasn't in a position to think of myself as the best thing in life. I didn't consider that I was the end all and be all. So every time he left, he'd be like, I'm coming back for you. And I'd be like, okay, if you come back, well and good. If you don't come back, well and good. It was okay in the end. I loved him desperately, but I wasn't going to hold on to him like, please, if you don't come back, I'll kill myself. I wanted him to have everything the world had to offer. And when he did come back, I was like, yes, look at God. So I'd let him go every time he went. It was heartbreaking, and I'd cry, and it was a mess. It was just a mess. But I'd let him go every single time he left. And when he came back, I'd embrace him. We had been talking about marriage for a while and considering it, and then he asked me one day, this marriage thing, can you just please tell me if you'll be my wife? I cannot live without you. You are my favorite thing in life. Please be my wife. And I mean, it was not a question of let me think about it. It was always going to be yes from the get-go. It was always going to be yes. Then he went, he spoke to my parents, and we started the process of Rurashio and Nyombo, because we are from 2 different communities. So we started that whole process of coming together and getting married. And my parents already loved him and adored him. His family knew me. We were destined. Yeah. We were going there.
It was inevitable.
Yeah. It was inevitable. Yeah. Our wedding was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I would do it again every day for the rest of my life. We had come together, we had discussed it, and we realized that the wedding was not the marriage. It was just a party we were throwing for people. And so we went, we enjoyed the party, we enjoyed the whole process of of throwing the party. There was a lot of input from our in-laws and outlaws and other people, family members and friends, and we all told them, by the way, you know, this is just a party. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Some of them were insisting, no, so-and-so must come. We're like, okay, so as we have 10,000 for each person is 1,000. So invite as many people as you'd like. It's 1,000 each. They invited, I think, 3 or 4. It was not the 25 they were insisting we do. We were not going to go into debt for a party.
Our budget was, we spent 230,000
Yes.
on our wedding.
The entire wedding.
The
And there
whole
was
wedding. Food, venues,
300 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. 300.
It was a cheap wedding.
Very cheap.
It was a party.
A party. It was a hang.
We believe the wedding is theirs, the marriage is ours. So, you know, we have our whole lives to enjoy.
Yeah.
For the wedding, yeah, we don't set up the marriage badly for a wedding.
Imagine.
Yeah, it's an investment into the marriage, not the other way around.
Yeah, and you're there fighting about the wedding, the color of the flowers, the color of sijui what, because your mother-in-law wants what, and you want what. You're fighting with your husband. No. Let that go. Let it go. Yeah. Married for 7 years. Marriage is amazing. We have moments when we are very, very happy and satisfied. There's moments when we are sad. There's moments when we want to take a break. You're like, okay, time out. Let's take a break and go and be sad in our own corners. But then it's us against the problem, right? So it's never me against Martin. Like Martin has a problem, or I'm now fighting Martin. Even if Martin has said something to hurt me, it's the hurt, it's the problem, the miscommunication so we stand on one side of the problem and the problem is on the other side. We found that has really helped us to go through things because we know we are on each other's side. We're not trying to hurt each other. We're not trying to bring each other down. Yeah, we're here for each other through it all. Even when we're arguing, we're here for each other.
So for me, the marriage has been amazing. Of course, you know, it's a journey, but what I like is that we can always create what we want the output to be. If you want the output to be total disaster, then you know, you can create it to be like that. But the one thing I've learned through the marriage is that you know, it's not the idea of the person that that you should marry.
Yeah.
It is the real person. So when we have a fight, I realize, you know, it is just Kitt communicating the way Kitt is communicating, or something of the sort. It has nothing to do with whether she's a bad person or a good person. She's just who she is.
Yeah.
So what that has led us to understand is that we don't marry the idea of a wife or the idea of a husband. I'm married to Kitt, she's married to Martin.
Yeah.
And so every morning I get to know her more, and we enjoy the phases. You know, there was a time we never had children, now we have 2 children. There's a time we didn't have work, now we have work. So it's a journey, and you know, I'm walking the journey with her, not the idea of a wife. I'm walking the journey with Kitt, not a wife, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's for me has been the biggest, and I look forward to the rest as she changes and grows, as I change and grow, how we will mold ourselves and our children.
Because it's so common that women, you're with your boyfriend and then you're like, okay, I really don't like this behavior of his, or he's doing ABCD, but I'm sure that he's going to change when he becomes a husband. I don't know if a husband is like a door people walk through and then all of a sudden there's something different. That is the person it is. That's the person you're marrying. They're not going to change because now they're wearing a ring on their finger or the government recognizes them as your husband. They will not change. Yeah, that is how they will be. And they might change later and become something else. And you need to accept that and acknowledge that is the person you married. So there's no magic button that is going to, when he says I do, he will all of a sudden be perfect. He will not. He will be exactly the way he is. He's not going to change. And if he does change, it's a lie and he can't sustain it for long. He will revert to his old habits, yeah? So just accept whoever it is and know that you're going to have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Otherwise, don't get into marriage because It's a long-term commitment. If you're not ready for it, wait.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. Marriage is not for everyone. It's not an achievement. Till now, Kitt is married. Hey, she made it. It's a relationship like any other. Yeah.
Piece of advice, or one big lesson I've learned from my marriage, is to invite God into the relationship, because our own understanding of love or what we're supposed to be as a husband is just false. And I've found that, you know, the more we invite God and the more we live according to His standard, is the better we get. So one big piece of advice is, you know, the Bible says, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And if you actually understand what Christ did for the church, and how He was, basically we live to be like Christ. So your wife has to look and think, I want to be like that guy. My children need to be like that guy. So you have to set yourself for the situation that you want. If you want a loving wife, if you want a wife who cooks for you, gives you every time you want, you have to be the guy that attracts that and that makes that possible. So I'd say for men, we have to really, you know, be the people that we want our wives, our children to be, because men love. I think women learn to love based on how the situation you create for them. They learn to be attracted to that way of being and that way of being understood and feeling and surviving and living. So we have to really be connected to God so we can know what environment we need to create.
Okay, so my advice to ladies starting out in relationships right now is be patient. You cannot own somebody. You don't own your man. He's not yours. He chooses to be with you and you choose to be with him. So don't hold on. You know the way you want a little puppy and you just hold on to it till it dies? We are killing relationships, ladies. Just be with your man, choose to be with him, and allow him to choose to be with you. But don't force, don't smother. What do I want to say? For lack of a better word, don't be so needy that the guy cannot even operate as a person because you're his bodyguard, you're checking his phone, you're checking where his social media. This is a full-grown adult sitting here. He's not a child. I don't need to mother him. I don't need to be any kind of relative to him except his wife. And everything else is up to him. So I just choose to be here, I choose him, and I allow him to choose me too.
My other piece of advice is, you know, for men, we really understand the value of work. You go to to your job or to your business every day, very punctually, and you put in so much work because you know the value you get out of it. You know you'll get money or something of the sort. But relationships is just as much work. Your marriage is just as much work. Yeah. And unfortunately, not many people understand the value they get out of it, so they don't necessarily put in the work required. Yeah. And I'll tell you, philosophically, I feel when God says that, or the Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, yeah. I think it is his intention to make you your best self through the person he decides to bring to you. Yeah. You're like a sculpture that through marriage is constantly being perfected. So I'd say allow yourself to put in the work. If you want a relationship of honesty, put in the work to create that honesty. If you want of trust, of openness, create it. It's not something that should be there. Ati now niko na bibi, all these things should happen. No, you should actually put in the work, because trust me, the value you get out of it is way more than you may see in the beginning. Yeah. So yeah, work.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have two children. Kendi is the firstborn. She's 4 years old. Kiarie is the secondborn. He is 1 year, 7 months.
Hi, kids.
And they're the best. They're totally different. Kendi is more like her mother.
Yeah.
Kiarie is 100% like me.
Yeah.
He's happy. He lights up a room.
Yeah.
Kendi controls it.
That's right. That's like me. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not, I mean, they're so beautiful and we are so blessed to have them. They are the best children we could ever ask for. Different personalities, but kind of the same, and they love each other dearly. Yeah. They're just so cute. They're so cute. Surely. Yeah.
So, Kitt,
Oh my God.
I will continue to choose you every day of my life. There is nothing you should or shouldn't do to deserve or not deserve my love. I've given it to you already. And so I look forward to the journey we have together. Hey, look at me.
Martin, I love you so much. You're the best husband, the best father, the best friend I could ask for. I am glad that I'm doing this thing called life with you. I acknowledge your achievements and I acknowledge your input in our relationship and our marriage and our family. Well done. Well done, Baba. You're doing good.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
That is a moment. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me right now?
Let me tell you. Utajua bwana ni nani. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So if you get mine wrong.
Martin, pressure.
Yes.
What? We are actually killing it.
We are on point.
Oh my.
We're on point. What? It's not purple. It's not. When did it change?
What?
Oh.
What? I'm literally wearing green today. Do you see this?
It was purple at some point.
Never. It has never been purple.
Oh, it was the color purple you liked.
Yes. I'll be very surprised. You'll be very surprised, is it? I said,
Please.
please,
Tulikula
don't serve
body.
this in the
Tulikula
house.
boda. Tunafanana. One last thing we'd like to share is that marriage is exactly, and not just marriage, relationships, anything is exactly what you make it.
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly what you put in. You put in distrust, you put in manipulation, you put in all this. That is what you're going to get out. There's no magic formula to relationships.
And there's no perfect way of being married or being in a relationship. Whether it was a one-night stand, whether it was it was an arranged marriage, whether it was you've been best friends for 10 years. It's not how you get married. It's what you do once you're in the relationship that determines the end result. What you create while in there is what will determine what comes out. So,
that's it.
So seek first the kingdom of God and all these other things shall come.
That's right.